Hello again, Nigel Ogden here with this week's edition of The Organist Entertains. Well, it's good to have you with us as always, and I hope everything is proceeding in the right direction as far as your own particular preparations for Christmas are concerned. I know that for some people the last couple of weeks can get a bit hectic, but if you do happen to have had a busy day, well, let's see if we can help to produce a sense of calm and contentment with our pre-Christmas contribution of seasonal items from the organ world. We get things underway with the majestic sounds of one of the largest original instruments ever built by the Wurlitzer Company, the famous Radio City Music Hall organ in New York, which still has the 58 ranks of pipes it came with in 1932, all controlled by two 4-manual consoles which can be played independently or together. Well, the organ doesn't get a huge amount of use these days, but this is certainly one time of the year when it's likely to make an appearance during the Christmas shows being presented there. Well, let's hear it in all its glory as one-time resident organist Dick Liebert plays his own arrangement of Good King Wenceslas. Good King Wenceslas, as arranged and played by Dick Liebert on the Radio City Music Hall Wurlitzer in New York. Well, on the same sort of theme, we've got the three famous Kings of Orient arriving very shortly. This familiar carol was actually composed in 1857 for a Christmas pageant in New York by one John Henry Hopkins while he was the rector of an Episcopal church in Pennsylvania. Well, it's followed by another very popular seasonal item from 1956, Mary's Boy Child, and they're both played on the Tower Ballroom Wurlitzer in Blackpool by Phil Kelsall, who is just into his final week as one of the performers in the long-running Christmas spectaculars at the Thursford Collection in Norfolk. Phil Kelsall at the Blackpool Tower Ballroom Wurlitzer, We Three Kings and Mary's Boy Child. Well, we heard the Radio City Music Hall Wurlitzer at the start of the programme. Coming up next, the sounds of another very famous New York Wurlitzer, which used to live just a few blocks away in the Paramount Theatre on Broadway. Well, 45 years ago this month, in December 1972, the organ was reopened in the Century 2 Exhibition Hall in Wichita, which is where one of America's greatest exponents of the theatre organ, Lynn Larson, recorded a Christmas album in 1986. Included on the playlist is Lynn's arrangement of the very popular song O Holy Night, written by the French composer Adolphe Adam in 1847, and here's part of it. O Holy Night from Lynn Larson at the console of the Wichita Wurlitzer. Well, let's stay in fairly relaxed mood for the next few minutes. I mentioned earlier that Phil Kelsall always takes part in the annual Christmas spectaculars at the Thursford Collection, but let's hear now from the man who's usually to be found playing the Exodeon Leeds Wurlitzer during the rest of the year, Robert Wolfe. Well, he brings us this combination of Winter World of Love, which was a hit for Engelbert Humperdinck in 1969, and I'll Be Home for Christmas, originally recorded by Bing Crosby in 1943, and many times since then by artists such as Perry Como, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Johnny Mathis, and so many others. Robert Wolfe on home ground at the controls of the Thirst for the World. It's a Winter World of Love and I'll Be Home for Christmas. Well, in a few days' time, as Christmas Eve draws towards its close, it's just possible that a very large number of youngsters will be getting extremely excited and trying desperately not to go to sleep in the hope of catching the sound of reindeer hooves landing on the roof in the early hours of the morning. Well, here's a delightful little piece to help set the mood, and it's dedicated to the other 8 reindeer, not including Rudolph, namely Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. Well, the title is 32 Feet and 8 Little Tails, which, if I've done the maths properly, is spot on, and it's played here by Peter King on the organ of Bath Abbey. 32 Feet and 8 Little Tails from Peter King at Bath Abbey. Well, just a bit of something different to round off our pre-Christmas programme this year, which I hope you might find of interest. A couple of weeks ago I was doodling around on the organ I have at home with my recording machine running, playing nothing in particular, just improvising as I went along. Well, a friend was listening to the end results and said that one of the pieces I'd invented really created a picture in his mind of the sort of scenes that so often appear on Christmas cards: crackling log fires, presents round the tree, snow falling silently at midnight in a frosty churchyard. I'm sure you get the general idea. Well, with all that in mind, I decided to give it a title, which is A Nostalgic Noel, and I hope you won't mind hearing it as a personal seasonal offering from me to end the programme. Now, the organ is one of the many Compton electrones which were built during the middle part of the 20th century. This is the one called the 363 concert model, and my particular instrument celebrated its 50th birthday a couple of months ago. Incidentally, this piece turned out to be for the manuals only, no pedals. As I say, something a little bit out of the ordinary, and so here is A Nostalgic Noel. A nostalgic Noel from me to you with the help of my 50-year-old Compton 363 Electrone organ. And that's it for 2017, I'm afraid, because we're having a little break next Tuesday, which of course is Boxing Day. However, I'll be back with you on January the 2nd at the usual time, so do join me again then if you can. Now don't forget that if you'd like to hear this programme all over again, all you need to do is go to our website at bbc.co.uk/radio2 and choose that option, and that's also the address you need to check up on anything else to do with the programme. On behalf of producer Bob McDowell and all of us on the Organist Entertains team, this is Nigel Ogden saying thank you for listening and hope you have a very happy and peaceful Christmas. Coming up next, Frank Renton with Listen to the Band.